everybody, I am Tressa, this is Book Hangover, and today's video I am wanting to recommend book to movie adaptations because we all know I like to rant about them when they go wrong, but I never really tell you when they go right. So, because on occasion I am moved by a film that has been adapted from a book, or I am genuinely impressed by how much it stayed true to the story, I wanted to give you guys some recommendations. Now, these aren't necessarily my top favorite book to movie adaptations. They're the ones that I own the film and I own the book and I really, really enjoyed, and I would recommend these to you. A lot of the books you guys already know about. A lot of the films you probably have already seen or already know about. But I just wanted you guys to know that I don't always hate on the movies that come out. So, the first one everybody's gonna know. You all know about it. It's been all over the internet. It's been all over everywhere. I mean, the author is a YouTuber himself. So let's just jump right in and let you guys know that the first book to movie adaptation that I'm going to show you, because these are in no particular order of which one I liked the least to most or anything like that. Just so you know. But the first book to movie that I'm going to show you is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. The film made me cry. Not as much as the book did, but I think if you didn't read the book and you watched the film, you got the heart of the story still. And I think a lot of times when books are adapted into movies, they lose the main like why this book hits people, why it makes them feel certain things. And this one, I thought they kept the heart of the story really well. And I think that in any book to movie adaptation, what helps is when the author of the book is working really closely with the crew creating the film adaptation. So, if you have not read the book, but you are skeptical about watching the movie, I would definitely recommend the movie. I'm excited for Paper Towns coming out. I know they're adapting Looking for Alaska. I have not read Looking for Alaska yet, but I want An Abundance of Catherines to be a movie because that one has probably been one of my favorite John Green novels. I know I'm weird, but I would highly recommend the book or even just the movie for The Fault in Our Stars. I think they were both really, really fantastic pieces of art, if that makes any sense at all. Moving on to my second one. I read this book when I was in high school. I also watched the movie when I was in high school. It is probably one of my favorite Disney movies. Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. Now, we had to read this, like I said, in high school, and I absolutely adored the story. And then we had to watch the film adaptation with Alexis Bledel and Jonathan Jackson, and I think the cast is amazing. The way it was filmed and the whole feeling of the film really reflected well from the book. So I know this isn't one that is really as well known as more of the animated Disney films and everything, but I love Tuck Everlasting. What this essentially is about, if you guys haven't seen it, because it was one of the lesser known Disney films, it follows young Winnie and Jessie. And what happens is Winnie comes upon this stream that years and years and years and years ago, lifetimes ago, Jessie and his family had come upon, which is essentially the Fountain of Youth. And there's action, there's romance, there's a lot of other things involved in this movie. And I just think it is brilliant. And it's sweet. I'm at a loss for words. It's Disney. Disney puts out a lot of good movies. Disney doesn't fail you on this one. It doesn't lose the heart of the story. It's a successful transplant. The next one I have on my list is by an author that everybody knows that I am obsessed with. And I think the movie made it on not just because it was a spectacular adaptation, but it also made it on because it's also by one of my favorite directors, which is Tim Burton. And they put this writer and they put this director together, and they just mesh really, really well with the whole world and the whole visual of it. So I'm talking about Coraline by Neil Gaiman and the film adaptation by Tim Burton. Now, this isn't one of my favorite Neil Gaiman books. I still enjoyed it, but there are ones that I've enjoyed more. However, I think one of my favorite types of film is stop motion, and it's because you see how much the director loves doing what he does, and you think about how much time goes into these stop motion films, because it is seriously, for each movement they have to take one shot, and it takes forever, and it's just incredible what the product of all of that work turns out to be. The movie kept really well with the book, and I think it happens a lot with short books, that it's easier to stay true to the book. I absolutely love this movie. It is one of my favorite animated movies, that's for sure. The next book to movie adaptation, I actually watched the movie before I read the book, which I don't normally do. However, I watched the movie not knowing there was a book. So, yeah, I would have read the book first, but I didn't know it existed. So I'm talking about Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. I absolutely love this book so much. It has so much humor, and it is so witty, and it's snarky, but it's a fun, heartwarming story. And the movie doesn't capture all of the humor, but it does do a phenomenal job keeping with, as close to the book as possible when it comes to book to movie adaptations. So I wanted to watch the movie because it looked funny. It looked really funny to me. And it was. The first time I watched it, I don't know how many times I laughed, but I loved the movie. I love the guy who plays R, who I can't even remember what his name is. He also plays Jack the Giant Slayer in Jack the Giant Slayer. But if I had to choose between the two, I would say read the book, because the book does have a lot more humor to it, and it's a little more fleshed out. But the movie is also super, super great. So if you need a nice zombie love story, check out Warm Bodies. It is not as cheesy as it sounds or as it looks. It was actually very, very good. The next two are ones from actual series, and I picked these because I felt like out of the series, 1, the movie was my favorite, 2, the book was my favorite, and 3, that it kept fairly close to the book. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. By far, out of the 3 movies that are out, I feel like Catching Fire is the most solid. And that's how I felt about the second book. I think the second book is my favorite. It was the most entertaining to me. I felt the most for the characters in this second book. And I think it's, to me, in my opinion, the best part of the Hunger Games trilogy is this middle section right here. And where would we be on a book-to-movie adaptation if I didn't have Harry Potter? Now, my favorite of all 8 films / 7 books is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And the film was just amazing. And I feel like that word doesn't even fit. I thought that this film, it was dark, and it was, I don't know how to explain how I felt about this film, but I thought they did just a fantastic job. Now there's one more that I have on this list. I do not have the movie because the movie is not out on DVD yet. It is still in theaters, and it is The Duff by Cody Keplinger. Now, as a whole, it didn't keep true to the book 100%, but like I said, it kept the heart of the story. And holy cow, was that movie so freaking funny. I have a feeling that I am going to end up learning it line by line by the amount of times that I'm going to watch it. I loved the book. The book is snarky, it's witty, it's got lots of humor, but it's got, at the heart of it, it is just about accepting yourself and being who you are and being true to yourself, and the movie kept to that beautifully. Those are the book to movie recommendations I'm making from my own movie/book libraries. If you guys have any that you absolutely love and think I should see, or if I haven't seen, or ones that you think should have been on this list, I want you to go ahead and leave those down below. All of my friendship links are down there as well. I kind of want to hear you guys' opinions on these. Did you like these ones as well, or did you not like them as much, or do you think that they don't deserve to be here? I want to hear your opinions. I like having conversations with you guys. Getting better. People are getting better at commenting on my videos, and I love it. I love talking to people, and I love seeing comments on the videos and everything. So it's just, every time someone comments on my comments, or, you know, likes it, watches it, anything, it just makes me happy. You make me happy, YouTube, and the people on the other side of the screen. You make me happy. Very happy. I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Bye! Kind of a bizarre love story. It really is, but I would recommend